Welcome to part 12 of my webcast series about a mission flown by the 8th Air Force on December 24th, 1944. In this episode we will take a look at the 8th Fighter Command reaction to the enemy attack. I would like to refer to part 7 of this webcast series for the actual plan for this mission with regard to the 8th Fighter Command. During the planning process, some timings of both the bombers and fighters were amended. The original rendezvous time with the bombers was set at 0+61 at CP3. This was amended to 0+73 minutes. The timings for the bombers was amended twice. Final timings saw the first groups of the first force plus 5 minutes from CP3. This meant the 4th A group should have passed CP3 at 0+72, which is almost exactly the same time and position as the fighters were supposed to be for rendezvous. Although amended timings were sent during the night, it is assumed it did not reach every unit in time to alter their flight plan. Some groups did not take off or were delayed. The 355th Fighter Group took off late in the afternoon. The 339th Fighter Group did not take off at all. The 56th Fighter Group, who were supposed to be in the area before the bombers arrived, delayed their takeoff. The 357th Fighter Group were planned to escort the first 3 groups of the first force. But with 339th and 355th not taking off, the 357th was split to escort both the front and the back of the first force. We will take a look at the rendezvous position of the fighters and bombers if we assume all data mentioned in the mission reports are correct. What I have done is try to figure out the estimated position of the bomb groups in between 2 points of the route, coast in and control point 3. The timings are a direct copy from the respective mission reports. This was the situation at 1200, 0+60. Shown are the positions of all 4th Combat Wing groups and 13th A through C groups. Looking at the reports, the first rendezvous with the bombers was at 12 o'clock. The 55th B group RV'd at or near Brussels with Fine Grove 1-4 through 1-6. The 479th A group RV'd at or near Brussels. Both cannot be correct as the 4th A group was roughly in between Ghent and Brussels. The 55th A group RV'd at or near Ghent. This seems correct as the 4th B, C, D and E groups were nearby. The 479th B group RV'd at or near Brugge. This seems also correct with the 4th F, G and 13th A through C groups nearby. Twelve 357th B group RV first 3 groups of the first force north of Namen. With some great imagination it seems plausible for the 4th A, although there is, in my opinion, a very large margin for error. The 4th A group just passed Brussels, with the other groups even before Brussels. The real position of the 4th A was even a little bit more north than shown. If indeed the 357 B group RV'd at around this time frame with the 4th A group, then we might ask where were they when the Luftwaffe attacked. Another detail is that it seems the 4th A group was way ahead of the rest. This again shows there are likely some errors in reported timings and or positions. 1220. 353rd A and B groups RV'd east of Brussels. With a margin for error, this seems to be very plausible. Bear in mind that 55th and 479th were already escorting, so the sky must have been very congested with fighter escort. At 12:30, the 357th A group RV'd with the last 4 groups of the first force. Only the 93rd B group position is illustrated. It shows them very near Ghent. As already said, these were the estimated positions of both bombers and fighters, with their timings and positions assumed correct. It is fairly safe to say they were not, and I will most likely never find the correct answer. We will now focus on what is written in the Oakland summary. In it is the story how it is generally known. Both 357th B and 55th Group had not made RV yet when Nuthouse warned them of the Luftwaffe presence in the Malmedy area, and asked 55th to get up with Fine Grove 1-1 and 1-2 until 357th got there. Both groups were just coming alongside the first boxes of bombers when they sighted the enemy aircraft. Both groups engaged, but not before the Luftwaffe made already at least 2 passes at the bombers. The 55th Group intercepted a large group of enemy aircraft encountered at 12:40 hours, hitting the first 3 boxes of the first force. This encounter with the Luftwaffe resulted in 16 claimed killed and 7 damaged. On the other hand, 2 P-51s were lost, one of whom due to mid-air collision. The 357th B Group met 15 Me-109s and 190s in singles and pairs. The resulting combat led to 8 aircraft claimed killed. 1 P-51 collided with the 55th Fighter Group P-51. The P-51s that collided with each other were Beautiful Doll and Miss Maryland II, with the loss of both pilots. After this engagement, both 55 and some of the 357th B Group returned to base due to fuel shortage. 2 flights of the 357th B Group returned to the bombers and escorted them just east of Frankfurt area before returning to base. The 56th Fighter Group was put up close escort on the first 6 groups of the first force just after the target, when both 55 and 357th groups withdrew. They escorted them back until halfway through the channel and then withdrew to land. Also, 353rd Group and 479th Group were pulled up front. The 353rd were vectored to intercept the Luftwaffe from the south and in front of the bombers. Both groups arrived too late to engage and save some of the bombers. The 353rd B Group returned to the bombers for escort, but the A Group were bounced by 12 Me-109s at around 1350, which suggests they were not near their bombers. This resulted in 5 aircraft claimed destroyed. These were believed to be the remnants of the larger force attacked by 55th Group. Later on, the B Group was bounced as well, this time by 2 Me-109s, and they were promptly shot down. The 479th is somewhat confusing. The Oakland report mentioned that the A Group was put up in front but too late to engage. The 479th report mentioned the B Group was put up in front and were too late to engage. What follows is a quote from the 479th Fighter Group report. A Group RV 1200 25,000 feet Brussels. Gaggles of bogies reported southeast Liège and group split to investigate. Scattered elements vectored to Malmedy and Frankfurt, thereafter proceeding homeward by flights. Parts of groups stayed with various B-17s until 1330 at 23,000, 20 miles southeast of Gießen. What this does not mention is they claim 2 FW-190s destroyed. Again a quote from the 479th report. B Group RV 1200 17,000 Bruges. 1225 Nothouse vectored group up ahead assigned bombers to help 1st box, which was under attack by 40 enemy aircraft. But fight was over when group arrived. Thereafter provided general escort to B-17s until 1445, 25,000 feet west of Stuttgart. At around 1420, the 357th A Group left the bombers because they were vectored to intercept hostiles. They chased them towards Kassel. From the 357th Fighter Group report: 60 to 70 FW-190s and Me-109s at 26,000 with 40 to 50 giving top cover were intercepted in vicinity of Fulda before reaching the bombers. Enemy was flying in flights of 4 with flights in close trail formation. As we engaged, they turned sharply trying to close in a loveberry of flights. We attacked before maneuver was completed. Enemy was aggressive, but no other improvement in quality of pilots was noted. This engagement resulted in 23 aircraft claimed destroyed, with the loss of 2 P-51s, and 1 landed in Belgium. The Oakland report mentioned several other groups were vectored in the area, but most of the enemy aircraft fled north before actual combat with the groups. However, the 359th Fighter Group was successful in combat. From their mission report the following: RV 1245 southeast of Brussels. Visually identified 381st and 398th groups. Excellent formation. 20 to 22,000, time over target 1432, visual at 26,000 feet. B Group left bombers Blankenberge at 1540, at 15,000 feet. A Group left bombers 1515 at Blankenheim when vectored away by Nothouse. They were vectored to the Bonn area, where at 16,000 feet they engaged FW-190s, which were headed east. Claims were 10 destroyed and 3 damaged. Earlier, 2 FW-190s attacked a straggler near Vogelsong at 1345. After the engagement, the 359 Fighter Group claimed 2 enemy aircraft destroyed. The only other fighter unit that claimed an enemy aircraft destroyed was the 4th Fighter Group. From their mission report: landfall in Ostend at 12:42 hours, 15,000 feet, and RV made with tardy bombers 10 miles east of Liège at 13:07 hours, at 20,000 feet. Escort provided through target. Bombs away 14:50 hours with good results, and withdrew at landfall Ostend. 15:55 hours at 16,000 feet. Somewhere in between the following happened: lone Me-109 traveling on deck west of Gießen destroyed and another engaged at 20,000 feet. Same area, probably destroyed, no other enemy aircraft seen. Other units, like for instance the 20th Fighter Group, had uneventful patrols, even though some of them were vectored. This concludes the webcast about the 8th Fighter Command. In the next episode we will return to the bombers and take a look at the first force attacking their targets.